I have all of my virtual machines running, so we're going to perform the requirements for this to work in our environment. The first thing I'm going to do is go to RTS Serve 2, and I'm actually going to just shut it down. That is powered off. Now I'm going to go to PowerShell, and I'm going to enable that nested virtualization. The command for that, as we saw earlier, set VM processor dash VM name. My VM is RTS SVR2 dash expose virtualization extensions $true. That looks correct. Be sure your virtual machine is shut down. That is the only requirement to run that command. So now I know I'll be able to install Hyper-V on RTS Serve 2. I'm going to go to RTS Serve 2 and I'm going to go to settings of the virtual machine itself. And I'm going to connect it to that virtual switch named vSwitch. Now I'm choosing that because RTS DC1, RTS Serve 1 are connected to that switch as well. Everything else I need to do is actually inside of RTS Serve 2. So I'm just going to go to RTS Serve 2 and we will just start it. And then when it comes up, we'll rename it, set a static IP address, join the domain, and we will install Hyper-V. I'll just sign in with my built-in administrator account. Now that Server Manager is open, I'm going to close the window there, or that pop-up rather. I'm going to go to Local Server, and I'm going to set the static IP address. So I'm going to click on this IPv4 address, and I'm going to open my network adapter, and in Properties, we'll just go to TCP/IP version 4, and I'm going to use the address 192.168.1.253. I'm going to use a default subnet mask, so I'll just click in that box and it'll autofill itself in. And for the DNS server, I'm going to use the IP address of RTS DC1, the 192.168.1.250. That takes care of the IP configuration. Now I'm going to rename the server. I'm going to change it from this default win name to RTS-SVR2. Now this will tell me it needs to reboot, but what I'm going to do, instead of rebooting multiple times, I'm going to click Restart Later. I'm going to go to Manage, Add, Roles, and Features, and I'm just going to install Hyper-V right now. Because it has to reboot after Hyper-V installs anyway. So we'll go to Role-Based. That's my server. I'm going to choose Hyper-V, Add Features. We enable the virtualization nesting, so we have no problem with that. And I'm going to accept the defaults for everything else. So for Hyper-V, that's just informative. I could choose this network adapter, but we're going to do all that after the fact and connect it to virtual switches and do all those things. Allow this server to send and receive live migrations of virtual machines. I could enable that now, but instead we're going to do that after the fact. And the default location for the virtual hard disks and the virtual machine, we're going to leave that in the default location. And now we will just install. There was a checkbox at the top here that said restart if required. I didn't select that, but normally you would, because once this is done, it does require a reboot. So it just eliminates the need of me waiting for this to finish installing, then clicking to restart the server. But we'll just restart it manually. It now says a restart is pending. So I'm just going to click Close, and I'm going to go to Start and Restart. The restart is complete. So I'm just going to sign in with my built-in administrator account. I'm going to select Don't Show Me This Again. You'll see Hyper-V is now on the list, so we know this is a Hyper-V server. The last change I wanted to make for our configuration before we configure the live migration was to join this server to the domain. IP configuration is correct. It's on the correct virtual switch. So I'm going to choose my work group here, and I'll just go to change, member of, I will select domain. I'm going to enter rtsnetworking.com, and I'll just enter my administrator credentials. We get our welcome message, so we know that was successful. Now we will restart again, and the prerequisites have now been met, and we're set to perform our live migration. We can now see that we have successfully joined the domain.